Good morning and welcome back to my channel. For this morning, we will be talking about some tips on how to reduce your blood pressure naturally. Yes, you heard me, naturally, without the aid of medication. But before we go deeper into the tips on how to control your blood pressure, I'll be giving you some inputs on what will happen to you if your blood pressure or high blood pressure goes uncontrolled. First, it can damage or narrow your arteries. Next, it can cause aneurysm. So aneurysm is the weakening of the arterial wall in which a sac forms, and once that sac bursts, it becomes hemorrhagic. So we can call that hemorrhagic stroke. Next, it can also cause heart damage. So it can cause coronary artery disease or the narrowing of the arteries in your heart. It can also enlarge your left atrium, and it can cause heart failure. It can also cause kidney problems or kidney damage. So the second leading cause of kidney failure is hypertension, uncontrolled hypertension. Okay, it can also cause kidney scarring and kidney aneurysm. It can also damage your eyes. Okay, so it can damage your nerves, and lastly, it can cause sexual dysfunction. Yes, you heard me. Sexual dysfunction, not only for men but also for women. So you have it there, the ill effects of uncontrolled high blood pressure. Now let's go to 10 ways or 10 tips on how to control your blood pressure naturally without the aid of medication. First and foremost, we have to lose some extra pounds, or we have to watch our waistline. So for those obese people, you really have trimmed down your weight, because blood pressure often increases as your weight increases. And weight loss is one of the most effective lifestyle changes for controlling blood pressure. So losing even a small amount of weight, if you're overweight or obese, can reduce your blood pressure. So in general, you may reduce your blood pressure by about 1 millimeter of mercury with each kilogram or 2.2 pounds of weight that you lose. Next, we have to exercise regularly. Okay, so that means physical activity, so such as 150 minutes per week. Okay, so you can divide that, let's say 30 minutes per day for 5 days, and that's already 150 minutes of exercise can actually lower your blood pressure by about 5 to 8 millimeters of mercury if you have high blood pressure. It is important to be consistent, because if you stop exercising, your blood pressure can actually rise again. So that's what we call a rebound hypertension. So some examples of aerobic exercises that you may try to lower your blood pressure includes walking. Okay, so just a stroll in the park for 30 minutes maybe, or you can actually jog. Or if you have a budget, you can buy a bike and do cycling. Or if you know how to swim, you can go swimming or dancing. You can also try high-intense interval training, like if you're going to the gym, which involves alternating short bursts of intense activity with subsequent recovery periods of lighter activity. So that's high-intensity interval training. Aside from exercises and losing some pounds, we also have to have a healthy diet. Okay, so remember that one component of reducing your high blood pressure is really having a healthy diet. Okay, so eating a diet that is rich in whole grains, fruits and vegetables, and low-fat dairy products, and low on saturated fat and cholesterol can lower your blood pressure by about 11 millimeters of mercury if you have high blood pressure. So if you're eating processed foods, this can actually cause hypertension. You know why? Because processed foods is high in sodium, and the sodium causes water retention that elevates your blood pressure. Okay, so what you can do is you can consider eating potassium-rich foods. So potassium can lessen the effects of sodium on the blood pressure, and the best source of potassium is food, such as fruits and vegetables, rather than supplements. Okay? Next, we have to reduce, as what I've said earlier, we have to reduce our sodium in our diet. So we always have to read the food labels and check the sodium content. And also we have to eat fewer processed foods. So I'm really sorry guys, but we have to cut down on those fast food burgers, fries, and all those stuffs. Okay, so we have to cut it out. Next, don't add salt. Okay, so we have discussed earlier that sodium can cause increased high blood pressure, so we don't want to add more salt in our diet. Next, we have to limit the amount of alcohol that we're taking. So I'm not telling you that alcohol is totally bad, okay? Because in moderation, alcohol can actually lower your blood pressure, okay? If it's in moderation. But, okay, if the alcohol intake is already too much, it can cause high blood pressure and you don't want it, okay? Next, we have to quit smoking. Okay, so aside from limiting our alcohol, we should also limit smoking, or we should quit smoking, because each cigarette that you smoke increases your blood pressure for many minutes after you finish. So stop smoking helps your blood pressure return to normal, and quitting smoking can reduce your heart disease and improve your overall health. So people who actually quit smoking will live longer compared to those people who are smoking. Okay? Next, we have to cut back on caffeine. So there is not much really studies on the effects of caffeine, but some studies shows that people who is not used in consuming high amounts of caffeine, once they ingest caffeine, their blood pressure increases. But for those who is already a regular drinker of coffee or caffeine for that matter, would usually not experience those effects of high blood pressure. Okay, so but it's still debatable. Okay, next you have to reduce your stress. Okay, there are times that if you're really stressed, it raises your blood pressure because of your emotions, of your uncontrolled emotions. So controlling your emotions can actually help lower your blood pressure. So take some time to think about what causes your stress, or what causes your feeling of stress, such as can be problems in your work, and it can be problems in your family, finances, illness, and whatnot. So once you know what causes your stress, consider eliminating those stress, because those are your triggers of stress. So we have to remove those stress. Okay. Next is we have to monitor your blood pressure at home regularly. Okay. So when I say regularly, it means daily, as much as twice a day, one in the evening, one in the morning, or once a day in the morning. But it's recommended that you take your blood pressure at a regular time. So maybe once you wake up in the morning, you take your blood pressure. Okay? And lastly, you get your support. Get support from your family, from your friends, from your workmates, from your loved ones, or anyone who can give you support. Because so a supportive family or a supportive community can actually improve your overall health. So they may encourage you to take care of yourself, can help you with doctor's appointments, you can encourage you on your exercise program, and all those things that they'll be able to help you. So those are 10 ways on how you can reduce your high blood pressure naturally. I hope that you learned something from my video today, and I do hope that you subscribe for more videos.